So essentially, today we're going to discuss about the lead management. And why lead management? It is I would say, the most important aspect of any business. You have to make sales, and for that, you have to generate leads. You have to have more and more inquiries coming into you. But at times, where business fail or where they're not able to utilize the good marketing they do, it's all about this poor lead management system. Most of the time, when even lead comes to you, you're not able to allocate to right people, or that lead doesn't go at the right time to right person. And the lead, even see, these days we have very short attention span. So if you don't touch out to someone, you very easily lose this person's attention or their yeah, your own space, what you built in their mind, right? So first of all, a right person should attend that lead. Second is that lead should be acknowledged, and that should be communicated or contacted well in time. And that too, along with this, if this part goes poor, then obviously your entire business performance can go down, absolutely down, right? So that's what we're going to discuss today. Now, what is important over here? When we're talking about very small businesses, which has hardly, like, let's say, owner-driven business or one people, two people are there, it's all fine. But as soon as we reach to any larger business or medium-sized business, which has 5, 7 salespeople team, the business is generating approximately, let's say, 30, 40, 50, or 100 leads a day, or maybe 500 leads a day. And then they face a severe issue because there is a marketing team, 2, 3 people are running that. They focus on lead generation part, and their job is to put those leads at some database or maybe generate leads, right? That's what their wall is. After that, they expect, like, okay, some sales guy should communicate with this. But obviously, these salespeople, and obviously at most time when we see there is a responsibility driven, or let's say a role focused thing, people are not bothered. Someone says, okay, if I was not communicated something, I'm not aware about this, or it's not my responsibility, kind of stuff, right? And many a time leads falls into these kind of a gap, right? So marketing team is doing really good job, but when it comes to sales, either there's a lag, or they do not attend, or they are not communicated well in time. At the same time, even your customer, the prospective customer, I would say, will not also be aware that you already received their inquiry, you're bothered to get their business, get their attention, and they also feel some sort of left out, right? So with these kind of basic automation, we can boost efficiency, we can boost conversion rate, and that can be a real value addition to the actual business revenue part, right? Now, first of all, what is one of the biggest challenge in the lead management? I would say, see, if you do not have a right mechanism or right framework to allocate lead among multiple people, then either one person will get more and more leads, he'll be overburdened, whether second person does not know like how much things are coming in, or they may not even get enough leads. So there is a concept called round robin allocation. It's nothing but a kind of sequential allocation where each person get their turn, and then if someone is not available, they can be skipped. But one by one, based upon their specific conditions, logics, or maybe some sort of characteristic, they can keep on getting their allocations done. So for example, if we look out this entire string, right? So there is a salesperson C, salesperson D, A, B, C, and so on. So first, the lead will go to person A. Second lead will go to person B. Third will go to C, D, E, and so on. So the allocation will equally happen. Everyone will be occupied throughout the day, as well as they'll get equal amount of leads being shared. Now, this was a basic round robin thing, right? We can put more and more conditions over here. So you may say, if one person has good capacity to take, let's say, 20 leads per day, other person who's new will have a capacity of only 5 leads, 7 leads, or 10 leads to accommodate. That kind of condition can be put in, and round robin will become a little more complex situation. So if someone's allocation is being achieved, then it should skip that person's part, will move to next one. Second part is, we can also put a very important condition that is called the presence, or what we call the attendance part. If you're allocating lead to someone who's absent today, that lead will be lost, because next time the person comes after 1 day, 2 day, 3 days time, he's going to approach that lead, and by the time lead will also be gone over, right? So if someone is absent, they should be skipped. If someone is already overburdened or reached to that limit, they should be skipped. At the same time, there are more structure, more conditions. Let's say if you have multiple products to sold, and then someone is expert into one kind of products. Let's say I'm selling mobile phones, laptops, and maybe some batteries as well. Now, one person is experienced or good command on mobile phone. Second is with laptops. So all lead of laptop should go to laptop guy. Mobile phone lead should go to the mobile phone guy, right? And they will be working in an optimal way. So again, this allocation will having one more complex condition. Furthermore, we can put, let's say, senior people, junior people. In terms of, for example, let's say if the order quantity or if the value of that lead is above X limit, let's say it is more than 10 lakh rupees of order, or it is less than 10 lakh rupees of order. in those cases also, we can define who should get the upper leads, who should get leads beyond a particular threshold. So multiple conditions can be put in over here. And finally, this lead communication towards the prospect that we received your lead. So and so person is allocated on your inquiry and he is going to contact you. That's super important because now that lead knows they acknowledged and they already dedicated one person. And that's like I would say, in my practical experience, that's an amazing experience for the lead as well. They know there is someone allocated, like how you get to know where is your Amazon parcel or when you order something, that adds a lot value. You're not in dark. At the same time, when someone knows, okay, my inquiry is allocated, someone is dedicatedly working on it, that is a whole new next level of experience for the lead as well. Now, at the same time, these salespeople should also get to know about their lead, maybe all information fill in by that. Some sort of additional research can be done by the system and other stuff. But yeah, both the parties should know them. One last aspect over here. Okay, let me move slides towards one last aspect over here. In case if the lead is not allocated for any of the reason, let's say no one was available or conditions were not met, not fulfilled. In that case, lead should go to an unallocated pool, and that unallocated pool should be notified to the sales head, to the marketing head as well. And we should say, you please stop running more ads or more effort towards this particular product lead because we already have good leads piled up over here, right? So if that kind of reporting is available, we can save a lot in terms of that marketing budget or just generating leads and giving people bad impression because we can't handle them, right? So it's a reverse feedback to the marketing team or the sales head that we have enough things, don't put more effort or don't waste more money over there. So essentially, multiple benefits can be achieved out of this entire process. Now, what is the process? Is we can get a lead over here in the system. Lead is obviously a basic thing, like someone can fill a form with multiple inputs, and then that entire thing can be captured. Now, these leads will go and enter into either into a CRM or maybe any sort of Monday.com, Airtable kind of CRMs, Zoho, Pipedrive, Salesforce, HubSpot, plenty of CRMs there, or as basic as any Google Sheet or Airtable kind of a stuff. Then we will need a second level of database of our salespeople where we define how many senior, junior kind of things, what is their capacity, as well as what product they are expert on, and whether they are absent or present. Now, even to get this absent present, we can connect their regular attendance system. So no one have to like check with everyone's absent, like whether this person came or not came, right? Instead, people will know themselves by the system. The system will know from the attendance system that this person is absent or present today. Then we are going to put round robin allocation with three different things: product expertise, attendance, and the handling capacity. And finally, email section to inform both the parties about any new allocation stuff. Now, what is the allocation? How do we decide if we are following three conditions? Which condition to check first? So over here, first of all, we are going to check what is the attendance status of any person who's going to handle it. So how many people are present or absent? Second is, who are the people who have expertise along with or according to the requirement asked by the particular sales guy, sorry, particular lead. And the third part is whether people already achieved their capacity or anyone has capacity available or not. Rohit, I'll take your question in a minute. And then finally, we have lead communication. So over here, if lead is allocated, we should inform the sales guy about the lead information and lead about the salesperson information. If unallocated, we are going to say to this lead, thank you for inquiry. Someone will contact you soon. And second is, we will also inform the sales head and the marketing head. There are a couple of unallocated lead accumulated. You should look at them. One last thing over here, in terms of any unallocation. So we can park all those leads into some sort of a database where we say a reallocation should be on next day, maybe on next cycle that can come in, let's say after 3 hours, after 6 hours, 12 hours and all. And in case if the unallocation goes above and beyond a particular point, in that case, either marketing head or sales head should also be notified that your unallocated lead accumulated to, let's say, 50, 60, 100 leads. Please stop generating more leads now. Do not put any budgets. And organization can save their reputation as well as the money they are putting on marketing stuff. So this is the whole use case, what we are going to discuss or build today. For now, when you get into your Airtable account, you go and there is something called create at the bottom left, right? If I click on this, it says build an app with Omni. Omni is nothing but their AI agent or let's say AI support assistant, or build your own. I'll go with build your own. Now, if I click on this, currently we'll be exploring only basics of Airtable, will not go with any complex interface or some sort of other stuff. Let me quickly take it. So over here, They say, how do you want to get your data in? And in case if any existing data has to be imported, we don't have anything to import. So let's skip that part. Now, over here, this is how Airtable looks like. Very easy and straightforward interface in terms of tables. Imagine there's something called base. So when we create this application, or when you click on that create button at the bottom right, sorry, bottom left, it was to create a base. Base is nothing but your Google spreadsheet. Like how you have a sheet over here. This is a base into Airtable. And all of the sheets over here, sheet 1, sheet 2, I can add multiple sheets. Like you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Same way, we can add multiple tables into Airtable. And each table is going to work independently. So base is the whole spreadsheet, and the tables are sheets over here. So same way, over here we have the base, the holistic base like this, and I can add more and more tables from here. I'll say start from scratch, and the new table can be created. Table 1, table 2, table 3, and so on. Now, why we say it is on steroids? Because Airtable give you flexibility in terms of the column formats. So for example, if I try with a new column over here, I get to see these many type of columns, which generally Google Sheets doesn't have. So for example, starting from here, we have standard field, link to another record, single line, long text, attachment, checkbox, multiple, single select. We can map users within Airtable. We can have date, time, phone number, like all of these, about 25 different fields are available over here. Second is Airtable works like a database, and database has couple of basic functionality. First of all, each record over here, let's say each of these lines, row 1, row 2, row 3, or line 1, line 2, line 3, each of these things are called records, right? Every single record will have its own tracking of who modified it last time, when this was modified, when this was created, like created by, modified by, and so on. Plus, these records can also link with each other. So for example, if I have two tables, I can link one table, one row into the other one as well, which is a core functionality of any databases, not tool like Google Sheet or not tool like Excel and all. So these things are very, very easy and way more well structured within this. Plus, we can apply certain more extra things. One is called lookup. So we can have lookup columns or lookup fields from other values, other tables. There is something called rollup, where we can have if else, like how we do sum if, count if, those kind of functions. They can be done over here straight up within this. Plus, they got plenty of good even graphical type of visuals. So something called rating. For example, if I put some here rating, just to give you a glimpse of Airtable, I'll say I want to keep max rating as 5 to this. And over here, you will get to see this kind of interface. You can put rating. So now it's more visual as compared to a Google Sheet, which has only numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, along with this, Airtable has good amount of automations available. So the second tab, this was first tab at the top with every single base, is called a data tab. Second is an automation tab. So here you can build automations within Airtable, but again, these are limited automation, doesn't go like way more complex or something. You can say when a record matches to a condition, when something is created, something is updated at a scheduled time. All of these things can be taken care within Airtable, and they got a couple of native integrations with a few good applications over here. In case if you wanted to use these automation or maybe these integrations beyond a certain point, certain limit, then you'll have to go with platform like N10, Make, or Zapier. So it can build up more complex or more next level of you workflows. Now, along with this, Airtable also has something called, let me try here, when record is created, there is something called run an script. So we can write short script into JavaScript mode, and then we can have our customized code running across multiple variables. So I can write whole long of a script, whole length of a script over here. And this script can use input variable, output variable, and so many things. So again, all upon use cases, but these kind of next level functionalities are also available. Okay, so now let's start building our first basic table, which will capture our salespeople data, right? Or maybe lead data. We have two tables to be done. Okay, let's try in here. So first of all, let's try to build the lead table, and lead table will be nothing but will be starting from here. I'll say name of the lead, or I'll say the first name of this lead. Then there is going to be a single line text, which is nothing but a last name. Then over here, I'm going to put leads email. Email is a dedicated field over here. So you can have this email, and that too, it can check whether the email address is right or not, in a right format or not. Then over here, we are going to put phone number, and even Airtable defined a phone number field with specific conditions over here. So phone number can be into a specific country code, this kind of format. Then, okay, give me 1 second. Phone number over here. Then we have maybe state. So for example, which state this lead is coming in. So I can have this thing as a drop down field, single select, or I can also have it like a single line text if I don't want to restrict the state value, right? So let's click on here and I can define state like this. Okay, beyond this, we are going to go ahead and we'll have a few things about the product interested. So this use case, we are going to accommodate with multiple product, but however, I'll say if any lead is going to inquire, they're going to inquire about a particular single product. So I'll say single select. And here I will put this name as product interested. Here I can add options. So for now, let's say we are an electronic store or electronic manufacturer, and we are selling various product like the household general products. For example, we have smart TVs, we have washing machine, refrigerators, and so on. So let me try to pick values over here. So we can have first option as smart TV, second option as washing machine, third option can be refrigerator. Then we can have microwave oven, and then a few more. So let's say air conditioner, one last, right? So this is how I can have at least 4 or 5 products which are aligned with my particular store or manufacturing capabilities. Now see here, to make it visually differentiator, like many people who say we are a visual learners or visual people as compared to any let's say distinct values, so we can obviously define a specific color code to them. So let's say washing machine can go this way, it can go this way, it can go this way, and over here something like this, and let's click save to this. Now if I add products, see here visually they can all be differentiating on the screen itself. Now apart from this, I wanted to add another thing over here where I say order size, and that can be a number column. So I'll go here and I'll say order size. Now this order size will be a numeric field, and see here within the number we can have multiple formatting options. So how many decimals you want? For now we don't want any decimal. How do you want to differentiate the thousands and so on? So all of these can be defined as large number, abbreviation, and so on. I'll simply say create a field. Even I can have default values to be stored if something doesn't come or if it's a blank thing. Then within this, I would like to say or track the created date and time. So I'll say it's a default field over here. I don't have to do anything. As soon as any record get created, this value will be automatically attached by the system. So I'll say created date and time and say lead created date and time. So when this lead was, now do I want to follow this kind of a format, or I have multiple more options, 27 September, or this is, so I'll say go friendly format, include time, which will be 12 hours kind of time format, or 24 hours, use same time zone, display time zone. So see, these are the additional functionality which Google Sheet doesn't have, but Airtable carry. So I'll add all of them. And since a couple of these entries were already there in the system, these 3 lines by default created by Airtable, so they all have that 10 minutes previous time. Now at the last, I'll say, what is the status of this lead? So I'll say allocation. Okay, sorry. It's going to be a single select. I'll go here and I'll say allocation status. And this can be either allocated or unallocated, right? Allocated will go into green, unallocated will go into yellow like this, right? Then finally, who is the salesperson? Here also I'm going to select a single select and I'll say salesperson. And this salesperson is going to come from a list of my multiple people. What I would recommend you is maybe let's have our own actual names. For example, here I can say Abhishek Sharma. Then I have just 2 names, just park them. So this was our first table. We can quickly rename this table. The table name can be leads master. Okay, so this was lead master, and then second is over here we'll have the sales team master, something like this. Let's go here. Now in sales team master, I'll have the salesperson name, which can be single line. I can have here email. Okay, one good thing with Airtable over here, if you already have any column available into this, I want to change the status or let's say type of this column, I can simply go here and say edit field. And then I can define it, let's say email of this person. And then I can choose email as a field. So I can reuse columns. Otherwise, most of the other databases, they have a very basic problem. You have to either add new columns, remove the previous one, you can't reuse them. So that's a all-time headache over there, but not with Airtable as such. So essentially, the person's name, email, then I can go and say here daily lead capacity, right? And this can be a number. So it's going to be a number over here. Preset is nothing, decimal is 0. Okay, then we are going to have the attendance status. So I'll say attendance, and this can be absent or present. Loading. Okay, done. And finally, along with this, let me edit this column as well, where I'll say which all product you guys would expertise on. So I'll say product expertise. And then here I can either have a long text or I can have multiple values selected. So for now, I'll say it's going to be either multi-select or a single select. Let's go with multi-select, and we'll have to check how this data format looks like. But for now, let's say I have all of those products over here as well. Smart TV, refrigerator, then we have air conditioner, then two more, which is microwave oven, and along with this washing machine. So these are total 5 products that I have for everyone to tag against. Now, someone can have command on one or more product. It's not necessarily like one person is selling one single product. That's why I made it multi-select over here. So multiple products can be selected based upon people's choice. Done, confirm change, all fine. And along with this, I can also maintain something called seniority level, maybe some other fields, all good. Delete this column. Let's add new one, or maybe, yeah, it's gone. Here I can say I wanted to have again a single select, which we may use, may not, that's fine. Seniority level. And over here I can say someone is a senior or junior. We will not use it at the start, but we'll see how it goes. And in case if we have to use, we'll try to think of a use case of this another condition. Finally, one important thing. See, we said daily lead capacity over here. Now, along with this, we should also say how many leads are already allocated to this person today and how many lead are available in balance. And accordingly, we'll be able to choose or we'll be able to use that whether any leads are in balance, we can go and pick those people who have capacity available. So first of all, I'll say here a number field like this, and I'll say today's allocated leads. How many leads are already allocated for today? It's a number. Let's set to 0 and create. And finally, how we have any formula column in our Google Sheet, same way, we are going to do lead capacity or daily lead capacity minus today's allocated leads will become equal to will become equal to the balance lead or balance capacity. So here I say I'm going to add a formula which will be balance capacity. And the formula is going to be, see here, this is how you can bring up formulas over here. So I'll say, if I just type in daily, it gives me first variable over here. So you see daily lead capacity, and I simply type minus today's allocated leads, right? And then click create. Just to check this formula, currently it says 0. If I say 10 over here in one of the line, and I'll say 7, they should become 3, and it's working pretty fine, right? So this is how we can have quick structuring of all of these data columns over here, right? Now let me bring in your names and your data point to this. Okay, I can simply say download into a CSV format from here, and then I can go back over here. I can say import data using a CSV file. So it is going to ask me like which columns you want to import and like how to map them to the given field. Oh, my bad. 1 second. This would be loading on. Let's remove these remaining sheets, delete, and let's see. Done. Perfect. Salesperson name and the respective email IDs. So I can simply bring in this entire data over here, click import, and everything came like this. So I can remove all of these first 3 lines, 4 lines, right click, delete all selected records, and all remaining records came over here, right? So essentially a straightforward thing where you get to see your name as well as your respective stuff. Now what I can do is I can, since you are 17 people over here, let's try to bring in some random sequence as well as some random distribution of products all together. So let's try in from top for these 4 values. Some data I already created. So let's try and have it over here. Done. See here. So you got your daily capacity. It's a random number. I haven't thought much about this before. So I said all of these people are having this much capacity. So we've got like 25 leads and so on. Then here we have attendees. So who's present, who's absent today in the office, or over here we get to have product expertise, smart TV, refrigerator. So multiple people have multiple combinations, right? And then accordingly, they should be picked up for a specific product. Then over here, who's senior, junior? So we can define things like this as well. Today's allocated lead will be a number which will come from our automation workflow. Whenever one lead is allocated, this will become 1, then plus 1, and so on. And then this is a formula based number. You can see here it's a formula column. So if I put, let's say, 25 here, it'll become 0, right? Or if I say 10 over here, 17 over here, it'll become 8, and so on, right? So this will be a formula driven thing. So essentially, I have my entire database created with this kind of a basic multi-structure. And what we wanted: condition 1, condition 2, condition 3. So these three are the essential conditions. And then along with this, we can also put the seniority level if required. It'll make our automation more complex. But first, let's try to nail these three conditions over here. In terms of lead master, what I would want is I should go and try to pick maybe just a copy paste kind of a stuff. Let's see if it works or not. No, it's just asking me to have everything over here. No, 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 no. I will have to add all of these names one by one. That's a painful thing. Or what I can do is within Airtable, we have a good functionality that's called a lookup column, but it will also make life a little more difficult. Maybe let's do with a simple thing for now. Let me try to put this on two screens and let's quickly have all of you people over there. Or let me do one thing that will be much more easier in sense. See, I have a problem that I need to put all the drop down values over here so these people can be selected. But the problem is I can go here and keep on adding all of you one by one over here, plus, and all. I have to copy paste 20 times. Instead, what I have in my Google Sheet, all of your names, right? Like this. Why not? I can put this column name as maybe, I don't even know, I don't even want that. So I'll say download into a CSV format with only one single or two columns. And then I go here, I'll say import data. Since when I import this data, it will ask me like what all values are already available in your Google Sheets and how do you want to map them. So I go here, and a good functionality with Airtable, if you are adding any values, mapping any values to any person or a particular given column, in that case, you don't have to create their options. They will be automatically created. So here it says field in Airtable, import field. So I said, I don't want to map it. I want to map this name, not with the, maybe primary name is also fine. And I want to add one more thing, which is called salesperson. And the option will be name over here. So this is how it can get all of these names over here like this, right? So at least I will get all the data automatically imported into my Google Sheets. See here, all the names came here with all of your people name. And now they are available here as well. I can remove this. I don't want to work with this data. As well as even if I remove all the lines until this point, what would have happened so far? All the choices which came up with your name as salesperson, they all now listed over here. One is called a name. I can remove it. And there's a Chaitanya's name also. Let's cross it as well as go down, and I can make her name as capital start and all. We got Abhishek Sharma 2 times. Abhishek Sharma. Maybe I can remove this one and looks good. Fine. So this is how we can build up our basic data set over here, which has allocation status, salespeople name, order size, product interested. All the products are coming in like this. Same way, state is a blank field, normal field, phone, email, first name, last name. Essentially, over here, we have this basic structure ready. Now, we will need leads to populate and to run through this whole automation workflow. So let me get in here. Let's try and start building an automation workflow where I say make.com. Now, one more thing, super important. Currently, we don't have any lead data, and I don't want to waste any time to generate any sort of, let's say, basic data structure. So what I can go and do is I'll go to Claude or maybe GPT and I'll ask it, I have a couple of columns in my lead sheet or into my lead form. Help me create maybe 25, 30, or 50 different leads according to this entire structure. Right? So what I can do, let's go here and I'll say, not from this one. Wait, there is an export of this data, download as CSV. Right. So I go here and I said, I want to download this as a CSV so I can take this whole table structure. I could have taken a screenshot. For now, let's here, open the CSV. Here is my CSV. And then I can tell the system that this is what it is until this point, order size. I copied this whole data and then I say to Claude, here is my lead database structure. Help me create 50 leads sample data. The product names are microwave oven, air conditioner, smart TV. Along with this, what else we have? Washing machine and refrigerator. Okay, done. Now it's Claude who's going to do this entire data structuring for me. First of all, we'll have to see it like a table, and then we'll convert, or we'll ask it to convert this into a proper JSON structure, so we can send this data one by one in a sequential manner into the system. Okay, looks good, looks good, looks good. Now I can say one more prompt here. Uh, can you convert this whole table data into a JSON and array structure? See, so now once we are happy with this whole data structure, now it's getting us everything into a JSON. So this is where I told you earlier, like, so JSON start from this curly braces. Over here, we have this leads as a like one more, let's say array, and then array start from here. And all of these are small collections inside an array. So essentially, we have all of these things converted into a proper structure of this whole JSON. And until this is an array, and then over here, oh, sorry. Right. And over here, it even gave us some sort of a metadata, like total 50 records, entry date, and so on. We don't want this part, so we can have things at least until this point. Now, why I generated this? Because we want to get this data into our make.com as well, right? So now let's get in here. Let's go to make. Now we'll see one more good thing inside make.com, that is called an HTTP call towards a webhook. So for example, if I would be generating this actual lead, they all will come from maybe Facebook lead form or from any website based form or something, right? Or I could even track or get those leads into a form which we create on Airtable. But for now, since we want all of this lead data, I should go and try to send data to my make.com automation workflow. So what I'm talking about is, if I click create scenario over here, and then if I head over into this one, for example, let's say if leads coming from Facebook, I can choose something called Facebook lead ad and click on this. There is something called new lead instant trigger, watch lead asset trigger, and so on, right? So this is how these forms are available. But since we don't have any live campaign going on, we can push the data from other scenario into this particular scenario. So what I can do, first of all, I'll say this is my lead push scenario to the actual workflow right over here. And then just try to see this carefully. So what we have from this entire Claude over here is the whole structure of multiple collections, and all of these are getting into an array format. I can copy this entire data. I'll go back to this, and here first of all I'll have to parse this JSON. So I'm using a module called JSON, and here I say parse JSON. So if I click on this, it will help me to structure all of this data into a well-defined array format inside make.com. So let's click run once. Let's see how it goes. See, so here it comes. Lead is an array. If you can take a look quickly, output is lead as an array, metadata is over here. And check out this. It got total 50 records. If I click on each of these records, their collection, first name, last name, email, phone, state, product interested, order size 8234, whatever it is, right? So this is where we got all this data structuring like over here. Now I have to create two automation workflow. The first workflow, which is going to like process this data and will send it to the another automation workflow, who's going to get this as lead by lead, and it's going to run through all the steps, all the allocation thing that we planned at the start. So two scenario number one, which will have capabilities to push data to another actual automation workflow, and scenario number two, which will have all the processing capabilities. Okay, let's go here, and here I say lead allocation workflow, right? Now this workflow, as I said, supposed to be a webhook or maybe some sort of a trigger point which is going to get leads. So for now, to run it instantly, I'll go for a custom webhook. So here we have custom webhooks like this. Even though if you go with let's say a LinkedIn lead form or Instagram or Facebook lead form, they all have instant trigger. So that's why I'm taking this as instant trigger over here. So I'll say click add, and we are going to add a new instant trigger over here. So I'll say lead capturing hook and click save. We got a hook address over here. This is the entire webhook thing. Now click copy address, save, and then I can save this over here as well. And in this case, I just tried to show you this entire data sequence or data structure. I can remove it. Here, I just want to do one simple thing, which is nothing but an HTTP call towards this particular webhook. So what I can do, I'll go to first scenario, I'll say HTTP. And in this case, I'll say I want to send or make a request, send this whole array and the whole data structure towards the webhook. So let's click on make a request. Here, the URL will be nothing but the particular URL which is coming over here, the hook URL, right? It's a little not complex, but a tricky topic. So please look at this carefully. So what I said, I want to send some data towards this particular webhook. It's a post method because I'm posting data from this HTTP towards the other webhook. It is just to make a simulation how lead comes into your system, right? Nothing more than that. I could have just run through this whole data into JSON, parse and all, then it would have not have made much of sense. But essentially, I'm sending data from a external scenario. So I said, here's the hook data, here's the post method, and simply over here, I'll say raw JSON. It's a JSON application. And if I go here, request content, copy this whole content, getting back to this HTTP, and I have just posted all of this content plus parse response is yes. Click save over here. And then if I try to run this, see here what happens. If I run this webhook, it's going to wait for data. And at the same time, if I run this one to send data, see what happens. This HTTP sent data to this webhook scenario. And what came? This whole lead array came over here like this, right? So that's how you can even connect two scenarios, or whenever any external system is sending data to your webhooks, this is how they send this whole data. Right. Now I could have done one more good thing over here. When I say, let's go to JSON, let's go to parse JSON over here. And I don't want to send the whole array of data all together at once. I want to send leads one by one. So I say, let me parse the entire JSON over here. Let's try to run this first. We got the entire array. Now we are going to iterate this array into multiple collections. So I'll say copy here, leads will come like this. So here's my iteration. See, all the bundles are coming out like this. And now I say, I want to send each lead to my system one by one at the time interval of 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and so on. So I'll say put a sleep over here, and then let's wait for 5 seconds after each iteration. And I can add this thing over here as a HTTP call. I'll go back to this, can define this collection, this whole collection over here. First name will come from here itself. The last name will come from here. The whole email data is going to come from here, as well the phone number, the state, product interested in, and the order size will come from here. Now if I run this, what happens? If I move out, just take a look. And again, I'm telling you, this is whole for the simulation part to make it okay. Leads are coming from an external system and how they should look like, or how the automation workflow should work, because leads are not going to come all together. They come throughout the day. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, here we are. Now, if I turn on this particular automation workflow, see what it does. It is going to, it gave you the whole array of the leads, right? All leads got allocated over here like into a single string. And then they are being sent one by one. So this workflow is going to get each lead at one after another after every 5 seconds. I just turned it on. See here, one lead came. Then after 5 seconds, the second lead will come. See, another lead came. So this will keep on building up over here. That means like even in your real life cases, leads will come one by one, not all together, all 50. Okay, now I can start and I'll say, let's add this lead first of all into our automation, into our Airtable, right? Or we can follow one more approach. See, there are two things. One is, first, do I want to check if there is any salesperson available, and then accordingly I can take action, because if I add the whole data over here of this particular lead, I have to map two things, allocation status as well as the salesperson. So why not to try and first grab the information of this allocation as well as sales guy, and then accordingly decide whether to put all of these information all together at once, or I should only put information until this point, and then I say I'll do second level processing and I'm going to update this particular record again with allocation status as well. So I may follow the second approach. Instead of creating a record and then updating it, I'll just go directly with first getting information from here, this sales team master, and then we'll decide whether it is allocatable lead or not allocated lead and who's the sales guy. So let's start with this. First of all, I'll say, let's go to Airtable, and within Airtable, we can do search record in the similar way how we do search raw inside Google Sheets. Right, so click on search record, and then over here, let me see if my connection is already there. I think so. Okay. Or if I try to add a connection, it will. Okay, give me 1 second. I think I'll have to either open Make here. These are two different browsers. These are two different profiles actually. So if I do that in session authentication, it will not work from this browser to this browser. Let me try. Let me pick this particular workflow. I'll just save it, disconnect this module. Let's save this over here, and I'll try to open this So we can have this Airtable connection done. It's an in-session authentication, and hence it has to be done on the same browser window, or at least on the same browser user section. So we'll go here and let's try to configure it quickly. Into this Airtable connect automatically, add connection, Airtable oath. I can put it as my personal Airtable, Manish, and then I can put, let's say, 27 September. Save. Now within Airtable, you have a couple of good control in terms of your access as well. If you remember, in case of Google Sheets, when we give access or authorization, it takes everything over there. But in this case, we can say add a base. Add a base means like we restrict access to any specific bases into our entire Airtable structure. So where I can go and I'll say there's supposed to be lead base, or maybe let me try and search this. Oh, it says untitled base. Let's go back. Lead management base. Done. Let's come back. It didn't refresh over here, but it's fine. I just tried to sync it and it is perfect. Let's click on bases within this connection. So we have lead management base over here. Now, once I select this, it's going to ask me which table you want to use. In the same way how we use Google Spreadsheet, then Google Sheets. So same way we have base and the tables. Now here I can say on the sales team master, I want to figure out if there is any salesperson available for allocation or for this entry or not. Or I could have gone directly, as I said, the two approaches. One, either I can add this lead and then try to figure out if sales team is available to get allocation, or I can simply go with this lead master. So I'll go first with sales team master. And now here I have to choose which condition I want to put here. So within Airtable, you can apply how we used to do things within Google Sheet. Same way, Airtable also got the search functionality where we can put the whole formula. And formula can be, let's say, you can see here quickly, this formula can be concluded like not and then name is equal to. So if you say name is not equal to, you have to put not over here. If you say name is equal to something, you have to put formulas like this. And this can be concate of multiple attribution within one single formula as well. So for now, I'll say I want to first check if any of my lead is coming in. Let's go back and should I show you? Let's take a look at this point. Now, first of all, I would want to check what product these people are interested in, right? So product interested is equal to smart TV or something. This is one of the characteristic or one of the what do I say, specific value within my salespeople database, right? So I say if someone is coming for a smart TV, I want to know which salesperson is expertise into a smart TV, right? That's first condition. Second is whether this person is present or not. The third condition is whether this person has capacity or not. So I'm going to build a combination of total three things: balance capacity, their product expertise, and then their attendance present or absent. Now, this kind of a complex formula will have to put multiple and conditions. What I can say, let's go and try to take help from Claude. I can go and ask Claude, I'm trying to create an Airtable search function, or what it's called, the search function, or you can say a search formula. I can just copy this entire text, go back to this, in line with the following guidance, right? I have total 3 column values to evaluate. And here I can say attendance is equal to present or whatever, it's present, right? Second is balance capacity is going to be greater than 0, right? So it's supposed to be more than 0. In this case, over here at the last, balance capacity should be more than 0. And product expertise, I'll go back to this, contains smart TV. For now, I can map it and then we will make it like a conditional or a mappable variable. Now on this part, I say, help me create a combined formula for these three conditions together that I can input into make.com search Airtable record module. Let's see how it come out. Okay, now it says, and this is the whole thing. So wherever you have all of these headers or column headers as the key, you have to define them into curly braces, like how we saw this guidance over here. So it is starting with a bracket, and then it is all the values, all the key are coming in here with a curly brace, equal to, not equal to signs. And then over here, any value, any mappable parameter which you wanted to compare is going to come into these two quotes. So in this case says and, starting from a bracket, ending with the bracket. And then over here, curly braces for each of them: attendance, balance capacity, and then find if smart TV exists into product expertise is more than 0. So that means like how many of these people have either the find result will be a record, and this will be again total number of records which has this particular thing as more than zero. So let's try to copy this entire formula. Let's go back to our make.com automation workflow. And over here, we can put it like this. Now, along with this, always try to check these small stuff. This is balance B is capital, C is capital. So you can either copy it from here itself and go back like this, or just try to find out this is smart TV product expertise. So these are very minor, very basic things, but we should be careful about. Otherwise, this would have not even taken care by the system. Now, if I want to look out for all people who have smart TV, I'm not going to like currently manually configure it with this particular input. I'll leave it as smart TV so we can run this module. Let's try go and check run the module only. And based on that, it should reply us specific records. Perfect. See here, it is getting us only 5 people who are expert with a smart TV. One is called Arib. If we go back, salespeople database over here, and then I can say there is a filter, for example. Let's try and grab this. Salesperson, not salesperson, product expertise has any of smart TV. Let's check out how many people are there. See, it has total 6 people, but one is absent, which is called Anup is absent. So out of that, only 5 people are coming out into the output. See, so Arib, then there is some Chaitanya, then over here we have Sandeep, and then we have Amit. These are total 5 people. I missed out one name in middle. Yeah, Sandeep is there. So in total, these 5 people are there. Pankaj is also here, right? So these are the ones who will get into an output, and we can also do some sort of a sorting, like based upon who has maximum capacity available, do on the descending order with this entire functionality. Now I go and say, whenever allocation will happen, this person will get one lead. If I move here, this time is also going to change. See here, it got 211 now this. If I say this person got one lead, his time will change to 211 over here, and so on. So accordingly, I'll say whoever got the last allocation at the extreme past, let's say earliest, not the latest, that person should get allocation again. So multiple things can be applied. Sorting can be done, filtering can be done, and last allocated time, I would say descending or ascending. It should be ascending. The least time someone had, maybe someone got allocation 1 p.m. earlier, someone now other person got 2 p.m. Then it is going to get the person who got allocation at 1 p.m. So let me quickly explain one more time what we did here. We are, as soon as the lead comes in, we are trying to find out if there is an eligible salesperson available or not. Yes or no, right? What is the condition? I'm first going to say anyone who fulfill these 3 conditions, whether the person should be present, absent, so person should have attendance as present. Second is, does that person have capacity available more than 0? That's it. The third one is, does that person have the product expertise as well, right? So these 3 things mandatory should fulfill to allocate a lead to someone, right? Now, as I said, multiple people can go and fulfill this condition. They may say, okay, yes, I have like 5 people at the start of the day, all get this condition fulfilled. But I don't want to allocate the same lead to 5 people. Then I want to restrict it. I just want one name at a time. So I'll say there is only one record limit. Get me only one person who's fulfilling all of these things. So even though 5 are there, get me only one of them. Now, one of them means which one? Is it going to be random? Is it going to be some sort of a dependency or a logic? So here I say the person who got the earliest allocation. So I do a sorting over here, and I'll say anyone who got lead allocated earliest. Earliest means, let's say if it is 1 p.m. at this point, I will say someone who got lead allocated at 10 p.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., and so on. Then get me the person who got the lead allocated at 10 a.m. the last time. And then that person should be picked up by the system, right? So this last allocated time, what I did is, based upon any value gets changed into this particular field, I said Airtable should track when this field got changed last time. And when this field is going to change, actually, whenever we allocate a lead, and we'll say +1 over here. So we'll say, okay, last allocated 1, 0, +1 become 1. And this time will be taken up. Now let's say if I add one more lead over here, see what happens. This time will populate as 215. These 2 times were 211, 211. Now what I want, if someone got, if I do descending or ascending means the earliest time will come as 211. So this person is going to get lead one more time, right? Not this 215 guy, and so on. Why I did not do with the balance capacity sorting? Because some people have 25, someone would have 20, maybe someone else would have only 10 leads capacity. what will happen if I do with the balance capacity? The person who has maximum capacity will keep on getting all the leads throughout the way. So when I say, okay, uh, Sandeep should get, he has the highest capacity, he has the balance capacity at the most, he should keep on getting leads. So unless until he reaches to the other people, equivalent to other people, he'll be keep on getting all the leads and other people will not get any chance, right? So that's why I said instead of balance capacity, we'll go with the last allocated time over here. Now, with that being said, this is our first level condition. And now if I try to click save, all done. Basic conditions are being put in. Now, there can be two instances. Either I may not get anyone or I get multiple people. So multiple we already configured, we are going to get one only. But in case of none, zero, then we have to have two directions of this. One is where say just create a record and don't do any allocation, mark it as unallocated, and send an email to someone saying that we received an inquiry, we are our team is going to, or we are going to allocate a salesperson very soon, and you will get further information from our side. That lead acknowledgement is important. If we find someone as a salesperson, I'll say this person is allocated to you and he is going to contact you very soon, right? So there are going to be two ways or two directions for this. So I'll add a router over here and I'll say on this route, there are two conditions. One is obviously create record in both the ways. I'll say over here, salesperson not available. In this case, I'll say total number of bundle is equal to 0, right? And here I'll say salesperson available. And here I say total number of bundles is not equal to 0. In case of 0, you can apply even a text filter, it's going to work, right? So that's how it is. Now, in the both the cases, I'm going to have add a record or create a record. I'll have to choose this. This is my connection, just to give it an additional permission. Add base. Why we have to add base again? Because these are different permissions. See here what make can do. So make will be able to do, will be able to see, will be able to edit. So these things are like keep on adding as multiple permissions all the time. So that's why Airtable is asking us just reauthorize the connection with more and more permissions. That's it. So the same connection stays, it got more permissions. Here I'll say lead management base, table as lead master. Here I'll say first name of the someone of the person is going to be here. The person's first name, their last name, their email address, phone number, state, product interested. This could happen two ways. See over here, I get to see all the product as listing, smart TV, washing machine and all. Or if I don't know the product, I can't obviously fix the product over here. So I can simply go toggle this on and then I can map product which is coming in from the previous module. Now, one very important stuff over here. Please listen this carefully. So whenever you get to see any of these kind of drop downs or this map toggle over here, right, on any of the field, you click on this and see how many values are there, and always try to click on either of values, any of them, refrigerator for example, and then toggle on map. This will show you whether the display value and the inherent value, which is behind the scene, let's say each of these attributes, whether it's a refrigerator, microwave and all, they can have their specific code. Code means like the specific ID behind the scene of the value IDs are given. And most of the applications generally follow this value IDs over here. So in case if you directly go and try, okay, I don't want to restrict it as a refrigerator, I want to make it dynamic mapping. Before that, select any value, try to map it and see whether the name is exactly the ID as well. If not, if you find an ID, you'll have to use something called a switch function or a switch case to first get the ID of this value, and then you can put name of that value. Over here, I'll say order size is coming in from here. Allocation status, again, there are two status, allocated, unallocated. Since salesperson is not available in this route, I'll say it is going to be unallocated. And there is no sales guy will be defined over here. So I can leave it blank as it is. And let's click save over here. Now, this is done. I'm going to send an email to this lead. So I'll say, let's go with Gmail, send an email. This connection can go from here. That's fine. Email to this lead will be responded over here. Subject line, I can put any subject lines. I can say, let's say, inquiry received, we'll contact you soon. So what I did is before coming to this call, I prepared some HTML structures. Let me try to show you this. See, this is how our email is going to look like. It says inquiry received, we'll contact you soon. Hey, Arav, and so on. We received an inquiry about this smart TV, this whole structure, inquiry reference number. We can give it any reference number from our own Airtable record or something. So these values can be mapped, and then within 2 to 4 hours, our sales guy is going to reach out to you. In this case, we haven't defined any salesperson's name or something like this. So I can go back and I'll try to put a contact over here. sorry, content over here. Let's make it a little bigger. Okay, let's go at the top. This is fine. We'll just have to map a couple of values into this. So this is going to be our first name. Smart TV is going to be a value from here. Our sales team will reach out to you soon. Now, a couple of values which we should add. So product is going to be the smart TV. I can remove this. Product interested is over here. Number of units, what he wanted to order is quantity over here. Date received, we can obviously put today's date now or something. So I'll go here into my time. I'll say now, and then I can even format this now into a better way. So format date and this dd dash triple maybe 4m y and so on. Then location is Maharashtra. So instead of this can be our state, what this person would have put in like this. Then inquiry reference number, this can come from my Airtable record ID. So what I can do is I go here and when I create a record, this record ID can be a reference like this. Next steps, you will get to hear from us. All of this looks good. Fine. So this is what our email is going to be. Now, in case of salesperson is available, there are going to be a little more extra steps. So what I can do to save time, let's copy this, clone over here, connect it to this one, and I can delete this module. See, again, a small trick within make.com. So when you run, let's say any kind of these routes or something like this, you can copy any module. So right click, clone this, and then I simply tagged it or mapped it over here. But I don't want this module, and I may have a concern that will I lose this filter? Then answer is no. If you remove any filter, sorry, if you remove any middle module, the filter will automatically associate to this particular one. So if I delete this, see the filter is now associated with this string, right? Now, what I can configure into this is all about allocated, and the salesperson is going to be the salesperson name who is being mapped from there. So that's it when we try to configure things over there. Let's click save and align this. Over here, I'm going to do two more things. One is I'll send an email to this guy who is the person who inquired this. So let me go here. I'll say Gmail, send an email, and I got another good structure. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me try to perfect. I'm just going to show you how this email will look like. So over here, in this case, email will be looking something different, something like this. So here it says, thank you for your inquiry. We appreciate your interest in the product. Hello, Arav, Smart TV, his product or inquiry. And then we say, Sarah Singh, our senior sales executive, will come back to you. You can call her here and you can also send an email to this email, right? So we are just going to add this additional information about the salesperson who's going to contact this guy. So let me go back and over here, I'll say content. Let's quickly configure this content part first. Okay, starting from here. And this is the most boring part of this entire automation workflow. You have to map values here and there. You may miss out something and then go back, add more things. Smart TV over here. This product added. Quantity is 15 units. I'll go here. You can take a nap by this time. Format date. Now, done. Location can be state. Now, our sales rep name. Who's the salesperson? So over here, I can define the salesperson is going to be someone whose name mentioned over here. What is their designation? So are they junior, senior? I'll say he is a senior or junior, whatever guy is this. So senior sales executive. Then over here, all looks good. This is his phone number. Actually, we are missing out a phone number column within our sales team. So for now, I can keep it like this only. And then over here, we have email address. So this is the sales guy email, which you can simply map from here, as well as this whole thing on the display part can also be mapped like this. Okay, rest everything looks decent. Perfect. I think no more mappings over here. Rest everything is a CSS. Now within this, I can put a subject line, and the subject line can be thank you for your inquiry. So I go back, add it over here, and the person's name is actually, sorry, email actually goes here, and that's it. Now at the next of it, we are going to add another Airtable, and let's click on this. What we're going to do, yes, we have to update the sales guy record so we can keep on increasing their count. So I'll say update record. Here the base comes the same base. Table this time is going to be the sales team master. And this record will be the record ID, which is coming from our search criteria. Who is this guy who got in search? So I'll just add it over here. And then rest everything remains same. I don't want to update any of these things, none of them except today's allocated leads. If I click on this, it's going to give me the previous record information, whatever came out from there. So today's allocated lead, it may be 0, it may be 1, whatever. So I can click on this And should I do this way? So what to do, the best or most good way is always use function. So some function is there, sum goes over here into this, and then I'll say next is one more. So sum from today's allocated lead plus one, right? And that's it. According to this, my last modified time will also get changed automatically. The last allocated time will automatically also be changing. So for now, I'll just remove all of them, or maybe let me do one thing. I'll just put one. Okay, not even one. That's fine. Let it be. So this is how this thing is done. And finally, I would also want to have this person, the sales guy, should get an email saying that there is a new lead allocated to you. So I go here and let me quickly bring in this email format as well. Okay, the sales guy is going to get an email like this. So this is how our sales guy email look like. You would have seen this. So new sales lead alert, and then hello, the person's name, the lead name, high priority, email, phone number, location, basic things, call, send email, and so on. Now, if I go back, let's quickly put it into this. Let's go a little above. So it says new lead alert. This is fine. I can take it as up. Now, in this case, it's going to be hi and the person name. Very good news. Lead card, the person's name, the lead name actually, which goes over here. First name, space, last name. Then high priority is fine. Priority badge. Then here we have this person's email address. All looks good. His phone number should have come in from here. Lead date, which is nothing but the date when this whole automation flow is going to run. So I'll say now, and I can format date into a desired format, DD triple M YYY, maybe double H colon M, and I can put AMPM as well. Then over here, what he is looking for, the smart TV. So now there's a even symbol, but I don't have any symbols associated to any of these product fields. So I'll say simple TV over here. How many units is looking for? These many. Then mail to C. There are two buttons over here, right? So even in case of your HTML, you can put like send email, send call or something. The values can be put behind the buttons. So there is href available. If I go here, I can simply remove this. And when you click from your email, you will get to see the email actually going to this guy. And their phone number can be associated, may not be correct, like these are dummy numbers, but yeah, when you click on call button, it says it should refer to this call module. Interested in our smart TVs. This is how whole thing will be even pre-written on the email content. Hi, Arav. So all of these things can also be made a value. Once you get this email, you will like get to see this. Okay, all good, all good. And this is bulk order 15 units. It's a bulk order, not the bulk order. That's fine. Customer is in this state, generated within 2. Smart TV is in high demand, whatever high margin product. So that's how we can have sending things to our salespeople. Okay, rest everything looks good. Subject line could have been new sales lead alert, and the email is going to be the salesperson's email. So when you do search record, this is your email over here. Let's click save, and let's click save over here as well. So this is what we have done until this point. Now, two things over here. One is we can either have these leads allocated, not allocated, and this notification can be sent to the sales guy or the marketing head on a periodic basis on every single lead, either ways of these two. So I can say, let's say, as soon as if nothing is allocated, I may reach out to the sales lead over here, or I can create another automation workflow which checks on every single hour or every 2-3 hours and say how many unallocated leads are available over here, and send a combined email to the sales guy and marketing person that there are leads not allocated, maybe 20 leads, 30 leads. So we'll create a separate workflow for that. But for now, I think we are good to go. So let's try to run this and see how it goes. This is currently turned on. And if I go back, I can simply remove the filter from here. Couple of people are marked as absent, so you will not get any information, any notification, but we'll switch it later on, right? So everyone can get a quick flavor of this. Now, all of these times are also mentioned over here. Oh, I cannot delete this value. That's fine. Now, if I start running this, let us see what happens. Okay, here is our automation workflow. Here I applied a filter of 1. Let me remove any of these filters. I'm just worried that all of these emails will actually go to the all of these lead people. This is what I don't want. So let me try to put a hard-coded email here, which is called tested gross tax. Otherwise, people will start lending to actual people and they may like trouble us. The address is saraj@gmail.com or something. They all were seems like actual address, or maybe someone would have those email addresses. So for now, I'm just doing a hard code of tested gross tax. Let's click save, move out, and let us give it a run from here. So we applied a delay of 5 seconds. Done. It started. It should start this flow every 5 seconds, and let's see how it goes. See. So who got the first lead allocated? John Smith, Sarah Johnson, Pankaj, Amit, Arib, and let us take a look over here. Is it getting into a kind of recurring allocation? See here, 111 for all of you. Oh, it got stuck. What is the problem? Insufficient permission to create new select option, Chaitanya. Why Chaitanya is there? A salesperson name. Who's okay? My bad. Actually, I think I would have corrected values at one place, but not on the other place. So when he entered his name, it was a small c like this. Supposed to be a bigger one. See, there are 12 records lined up in the queue. And when someone asked me last time, like how they're going to process, see, they're all running together over here simultaneously, all of them at once. So in these cases, like webhooks doesn't wait for any of these recording part. They just run all of them all together in a sequential manner. And here we got all of these leads allocated to Chaitanya because it was just running all together at once. That's fine. Let's see. His capacity would have exhausted. It was supposed to be running. See, let me do one thing. Let's stop it for here because one record, his name caused an issue, a duplicate kind of a thing. So that small c, capital C couldn't work out. That's the only reason. But okay, let's clean up this and let's rerun from scratch. And one more thing, whenever we are trying to do anything with this webhook part, if at all things get stuck, the best strategy is we can run webhooks on the basis of sequential run or sequential stuff should go. Let me remove all of them as well. If I go back, I should say this lead allocation should happen on a sequential processing. So previous records will not execute as is. And I can also allow incomplete storing. I can say I want to add an error handler over here on almost all the modules. So break, try a few times. So if something like that happens, we can always have protected from these issues. So you can just copy once and then you can add it everywhere like this. It'll be the most good and secured way. Now I just cleaned up the entire sheet. Let's clean up this one lead as well. Delete old data, delete everything. See here, this is blank, 0 lead allocated. And over here, this is also blank. Let's try to run it one more time from here. So it should run into a sequential way. See, Ari would have received one first lead. Second is gone to Chaitanya. Third is gone to Pankaj. Fourth is going to Sandeep. Fifth gone to Amit. Now, within this, we can even track something. Sixth is gone to Arif and so on. What we can do over here is a little more smarter thing. We can even track leads based upon the product as well. So which product lead allocated to, like how many product leads are allocated to which person, and even that product can also be rotated. So for example, here Chaitanya got this refrigerator lead over here, one refrigerator two also he got, but at the same time other people also have other combinations. So see, this is the way how things are getting allocated if they're coming into a sequence. And this will not end up any unallocation because most of you people are already available over there. What if I can reduce the quantity? So I say we don't have not these 25, 10 and so on. I have total 265 lead capacity available. And what we're trying to push is only 50. So if I, let's say, reduce this quantity manually, maybe 5 for each of you. Okay, one more thing would have gone wrong. I'll tell you. When I say, see why they are getting 6 all the time and why it is keep on allocating to these people. Because one condition would have gone wrong, which is the time allocation. When we sort based upon ascending, it is not asking us earliest or latest. It is asking ascending, descending. This would have gone to descending, not the ascending, because ascending it's taking the latest available person who has all of these things available over here. So it is not taking empty, but it is taking the values which already exist. And that's why these people are keep on getting allocation. This was not intended. So we'll have to change this
Exactly
particular
what
sorting.
I was wondering.
Yeah. Because see, it's a straight ascending descending. If with time it doesn't apply ascending descending, so we have to experiment with this thing. Time has to be earliest, latest, or that kind of a thing, right? Okay, so now we know this particular sorting part is not going good. Let me do one thing, and it can have one more problem, one more basic problem here. Sometime if the values are blank, well, let's say someone who got first allocation, even though if I say ascending or descending, it may not work out in the right way because other values are blank only, and blank may not be considered here as ascending descending. we can give it a try and let's see how it goes. But currently it's clearly seen that it's all taking only single value as a descending, not ascending stuff. Let's so currently I posted a value with everyone, and then what I did is it should have like taken so now no blanks, right? I just put in hard coded the values and then I just made it blank or empty. So this allocation date is here. Let's do this way. I was trying descending. Maybe let's try with ascending and let's run it one more time just for a few values and see how it goes. Okay, first thing came here with Arif. Second went to Chaitanya. Nice. Maybe let's go here. Okay, it'll keep on adding things at the bottom. So now this 50 was the earlier one. Now 3 leads also got added. Then
Okay.
Sandeep.
Manish, why the first is going to Arif? Is it because of alphabetical order?
No, no, no. It's because of that sorting condition and couple of filters that we have put in. No, ascending is also not working. We'll have to figure out something else. Let's go and try descending one more time because now all of them have, and it's a platform limitation itself. So when we see Airtable is not giving us option, we will have to figure out something else to make it work. Okay, let's try not this way. Let's before this, let me clean everything. Okay, one mistake what I left over here is the smart TV. Thanks a lot, Hiteshi. Thanks a lot. This was a savior. So now we should go, and this will make our product also running. It was supposed to be. I when I was trying to build it, I had in mind, but I completely forgot. Great. Thanks a lot. And that's why it was keep on allocating to only 5 people who were around the smart TV. Okay, done. So we don't have any leads. We have all these sales people over here. Let's go back and try test it one more time. Now I'm not sure this ascending descending how it's going to work, but let's see. Okay, first a smart TV to Sandeep, refrigerator again to Sandeep, two more to this person. No, one more time. I have to tweak it a little bit. Done. I made it working descending order this time. Let's see if it again works. So these are like kind of nitty-gritties which we have to refine all the time while we're building this. Okay, now Arib is on the track. Abhishek Saxena. Okay, this time it's working perfectly fine. So we fixed all the combinations about that product name as well as, and see here, it's going in a really good fashion. So no repetition as such. It's taking everyone who did not get allocation yet for their respective products. See, so now this Arib also got second allocation. Abhishek Sharma got second allocation. Chaitanya. And now depends upon how the inquiries are coming in, the products leads are coming in. They will all be allocated to each of these people because there are limited people in each team, and plus there are a couple of absentees as well.
It's
So
working.
yeah, it's working fine. So absents does not have any allocation over here. Now we could have added one more, let's say, condition to it on the seniority level. We did not consider this condition yet, the seniority part. If someone is ordering more than two quantities, then only senior should handle, not the junior people. Then even there will be more narrow down. But for now, it's a kind of equal allocation happening throughout all of the people who are following these three conditions: one, two, and the capacity three. So this will be sending two type of email: one email to salesperson, second email to the lead. And already maybe 100 emails would have gone. Okay, thank you for inquiry. Hello Victoria. Amit is going to call. Hello Amit at Outlook, and this is the email address. It currently all of these emails are going to test, hence they are all combined together. Otherwise, they would have been individual emails. Hello, no, and so on. Abhishek Sharma is going to call you from this number, from this email address. And on the other way around, since it was all emails getting into, Deepak got 5 emails. New lead alert. What's the person name? Destiny Stewart. High priority. Destiny at us. This is this. One micro oven. Send call. Send email. If I just send email, see what happens. Automatically, Destiny's this thing, his her email address, this email subject line, and even this thing got autofilled. Right. So like with from here itself you can define more and more better structure of everything. Let's say David Wilson is there. If I click on this, send email to David, now immediately as soon as Deepak is going to click on them, it will automatically sync up over here with his respective 15 units, his price, and whatever, this quick email. It's all the game of this HTML stuff. Allison and so on. Nice. Great. So the allocation would have done by this time. Let's take a look. Yeah, all 50 got allocated. 3, 4, 4, 5, 4, double 5, and so on. All 50 had allocated to all of these people and in a very good proper order. Now, if I may remove some of them, or let's say all of them, it's all fine. Delete everything. And then I just want to have a capacity. Maybe I can mark a couple of more people absent randomly. Hey, who's there? Rohit, you want to talk?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
Manish,
I'm
make
I'm
just
capacity a little less so that you goes unallocated into that.
So I'll say max capacity is 3 for each of these people, and multiple people are now marked as absent, right? So 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Max 24 leads can be allocated, maximum side, right? And obviously many of them will go unallocated as well. So let's remove this, clear everything. We got a capacity of total attending capacity is 24. Okay, done. Oh, why? Oh, yeah, 24 only. And even, okay, see one more good thing with Airtable. What I can do, I can even do a grouping over here. So when I say group based upon the attendance, and people can be grouped like this, absent and present, right? So these are, that's why this thing is on steroids. That means it got really good functionalities over here. I can pull present at the top, and this present will come at the top, absent will go down. Same way, here I can make, or maybe I'll not do here, but here also we can do grouping based upon allocated, non-allocated, but I'll leave it as it is for your view purpose. Let's go back over here. Let's push it again from this point. Okay, first is allocated to Arif, second to Praveen. Nice. Kishore, 111, Chaitanya. Okay. So somehow it is able to find, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is that fifth product? Washing machine, refrigerator, air conditioner, and smart TV and microwave. Okay, all 5 products are here, and that's why they're getting allocated. Otherwise, it would have said like if one product, someone who's selling one product, all the people are absent, then that particular product lead would have not even allocated. So 10 leads are done, 14 capacity left. Until this, we have all of things are getting in allocation. Very soon, if one person get exhausted or at least one product type get exhausted, it will go down. Okay, you can see a pattern over here. When I asked Claude to give me all the lead, what it did, it's giving me in the sequence smart TV, refrigerator, this, again smart TV, refrigerator until this point and until this point. So it is keep on giving the same hierarchy all the time. Okay, man, system. And from here, unallocation started. So this lead was not allocated to anyone. This lead allocated washing machine, this capacity exhausted, TV, refrigerator, and maybe now onwards everything would have been exhausted only. So if I can cut down one of the product, then it could have been different, because currently it's following the series of five over here, again five, again five. So when we even generate this dummy data, random data, it is coming into these kind of bunches. So this should have or could have changed. But essentially, yeah, you get to see this. So everyone's capacity got full, all like this. And yeah, that's it. Let's run one more time. And I'll say if this person has a capacity to pick 10 refrigerator and air conditioners, and let's see what happens. So if next time any refrigerator or air conditioning requirement is coming in, see, it is got allocated to Hitachi. Only that product will be allocated, not anything else. So refrigerator and air conditioner. Rest everything will go again unallocated. Now there can be one more condition. You may say, okay, if some salesperson has an exception, or maybe can someone take a secondary product? Maybe someone knows a refrigerator, he can also know the air conditioner. So this guy can be a backup for air conditioner as well. Or smart TV, maybe this micro oven guy could be a backup for washing machine, for example, or refrigerator. So multiple things are there. Like so many combinations can be put in, and this whole system can be much more improvised as compared to anything else. Essentially, this is how we can, and we haven't used any AI over here. It was more kind of understanding of the process, what people are looking for, and to build a basic logic. That too took us good time, and we built a good understanding over here. But no AI as such. So automation doesn't mean all the time AI. It's more about how we can make this whole process more robust and save people's time.